Welcome to Marriage Before Marriage, MBM.
There is so much fake stuff. There is so much social media image. If you are going to end up with the best in life, don't be a victim of camera tricks in life.
When levels are different, the character and behavior would be different, except God has just worked on somebody.
The things that trouble marriage have remained the same from time immemorial. The mistakes that cripple this institution have not changed color, and the principles that keep it afloat still remain with us.
I want someone who is as down as I am, then we'll build together from nothing. So that the day we become anything, I can't use nothing to brag. She can't use nothing to brag.
This is Marriage Before Marriage, MBM. Timeless observations, biblical insights, honest approach, and hard practicality. Marriage Before Marriage, MBM, with Maurice and Pam Olo.
Blessed privilege that God has given us to discuss relationships or dating. And as usual, we are together with Mama here, who interrogates me all the time and puts my little wisdom under pressure to supply a few questions, supply a few answers to the questions that we have. I pray that your day is coming good, or your night, or whichever place you're watching from, both on Facebook Live and on television, that you will get blessed. And therefore, together with a wonderful team we have here who are pushing to get married, and we believe we'll get blessed. And therefore, with a great hand clap, I want us to welcome our television audience and make them feel blessed together with us. Can we clap for them? Amen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I will not have much to say because I'm with Mama. Mama regulates me with questions. And I believe she has prepared. These questions are born out of the experiences, the life experiences that people go through. And as we counsel people, as we listen to people, as people send their prayer requests, as we just basically hear people, we are able to tell the pressing questions that people have. And if you never ask a question in life, you become a question mark. And therefore, we encourage you, even as you watch, as you listen, we encourage you to throw in questions, because if you ask questions, then you learn. Mama, God bless you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a blessing.
Amen. What a wonderful time.
So I give it over to you so that you can take us further.
Thank you. The last session was very wonderful. I believe that there are many who are helped. You shed light on so many issues. Dating is, to many is normal, to some is abnormal. And this is because they don't know what to expect. Marriage is a mystery, to some is a scam, to some is a blessing. And this is because of the mixed reactions that we get from people through the experiences they go through. And I believe that God has set us for this season just to let his people know, the young people, our heart is sold out to them. The mistakes that they are making because of lack of mentorship, they should not make when God has raised us, we are here. The last session we had, we shed light on why it is important for dating in marriage, in a relationship, before someone gets into marriage. It's an institution that is respected both by God and human beings, but we make certain mistakes that we shouldn't be making. And so today, I would like you to shed light on what happens to someone who doesn't love somebody. They've just maybe met, gotten to know each other, But the parents in their lives, the siblings, the sisters, the friends, think that this is the right person that this lady or the gentleman should get married to. While in their hearts, they believe that this is not the right person. But because of pressure, their parents maybe think, since this boy bought you a quarter meat, he's the right person to be your husband. What's your take on that?
Of course, the show is called Marriage Before Marriage. There's a reason why the Lord led us that way.
Yes.
If we don't talk about marriage before we get into marriage, we'll have a mirage.
Oh.
We'll have a problem. So there has to be the talk about ministry before ministry.
Wow.
If nobody talks to you about ministry before ministry, what you think is ministry may not be ministry when you get into ministry.
Wow.
So if someone doesn't talk to you about marriage before you get into marriage, what you think is marriage may not
be
marriage. So if I got the question right, Mama is asking, there are people who, they have met someone, they have met an individual, you have met a girl, you have met a young man, and you still feel you are afraid to love. You haven't committed at the emotional level. You are just trying to get to know each other, but there are people who are very fast. Within that short time, he's bought your mom a kitenge, he's paid school fees for your sister who is in the university. You haven't really fallen in love with him. He has bought your father 3 packets of cigarette. And so every time your father smokes 1 cigarette, you say, that boy, that boy, that boy. Now, in your heart, you are not yet convinced. You are still trying to check him out. You haven't fallen in love with him. But your parents, your friends, anytime you meet your friends, kila mtu anakula kuota nyama. Watu wanakula kuota nyama, wanateremsha na soda. So your friends are telling you, you can't let go this guy. Your parents are telling you this is the right kind of a person. Who buys everybody lunch? Yeah. Such men are rare now. Girl, don't waste your time. Jump into the water. But you have this uncomfortable feeling within you. This opens us up to a very, very important aspect of dating. You need to understand that it is you that is going to marry this man.
Yes.
It is you that is going to marry this woman. It's not your father. It's not your mother. As important as your father is, your mother is, your friends are not going to marry the person. Your mother is not going to marry the person. Your sisters that are enjoying the school fees, they are not going to marry the person. So the answer I can give is this: while you respect their opinions and their appreciation of the man that God has brought into your life, or the lady, we have these ladies, it's not just a man. We have ladies that within the short time you have known her, she has made your mother fall in love with her. She has made your dad fall in love with her. All your brothers and sisters are already singing her song. Your friends are telling you, when are you marrying this girl, man? This a wife material. But on the inside of you, you feel you are not yet, bado hauko pale, unasikia kama hauko sawa, you are not comfortable. People are pushing you, but you are not comfortable. My answer is this, and you need to take this very seriously. It is not your friends that are going to marry the person. It is not your parents that are going to marry the person. Marriage has little to do with fetching water. So your mother may be endorsing her because she has fetched water. People have fetched water into tears. So be very careful. Your friends may be endorsing him because of the quarter kilogram of meat that is buying everybody and the sodas. Be very careful. People have mortgaged their destinies in the name of weird generosity. The enemy will not bite anyone without a bait. Before there is a bite, there has to be a bait. And I said last time that God has wired us in a way that when something is out of place, there is this thing within you. Last time I didn't read that scripture, but I need to read it today. The spirit of the man is the candle of the Lord. You have a candle on the inside of you. Leo nikianza kuabudu shetani, there is a way hata ukikapa kwa congregation. You may not be a prophet, but something will just tell you something is not right with the man of God. There is just something. So you must learn how to listen to your spirit in the right way. everybody is comfortable with this. Why is it I'm not comfortable?
Yes.
Why is it my mother is pushing me, but I'm feeling very uneasy about making what he has done be the reason I marry him, be the reason I give in, be the reason I accept her. Look at this. The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths
Of his heart.
of his heart. There is something in you that when things are not right, you may not be a prophet. One look, say hapana. It's the same thing when somebody is lying.
The world calls
Someone
it
has
the
come
sixth
to
sense.
spoil somebody else's name and is lying. You can just say, no, this is hatred.
Yeah.
There's just that thing within you. So what I can say is this: take your time and ensure you are emotionally comfortable and at peace with the person. And as I said last time, it doesn't take much to tell you love someone. So take your time until on a personal level, you can also feel what these people are feeling.
Yes.
Don't let, it's like when you begin to preach and there's somebody who is feeling the message more than you that is preaching it. I used to preach in one church. Nimesoma tu maandiko hata sija explain. Huyo mama ameshachapa filimbi. Until one day I said, dada tulia. Hii Holy Ghost yako iko ina speed sana.
Ina mbio sana.
Mimi mwenyewe nimepewa message sijahubiri, wewe umeshafika jameni. So my answer is, no matter who is pushing, it could even be your pastor. Remember, third parties always have personal interest.
Wow.
Leo nikianza kukulazimisha, you need to marry this girl, there must be something I'm going to gain out of it. Third parties include your dad, include your mom, include your friends, include your brothers. Nobody pushes you to marry someone if they don't stand to gain something. Look at what your mom is telling you. Kwa hii kizazi yenye wasichana wajui kubeba ndoo. Amebeba mkokoti, amebeba kibuyu kwa mgongo. My daughter, my son, look at how your mother's house is clean.
Please go
Leo
and marry
nimekula
them.
vizuri. Hata amenifanyia masaji ya miguu nikalala. You need to marry this girl. No, your mother is not telling you I've seen how much you love her. Your mother is just talking on the grounds of mtungi ya maji imekuja, nyumba imepanguzwa, amekula vizuri, personal interest.
And it could be strategic. The person might have studied that
Yes.
this is a weakness in this family.
Yes.
Or with the friends.
And-
so it's taking advantage of that.
And you must also be able to know that weird people study you very fast. I've been teaching this to pastors. Be very careful being a pastor that can easily be read. Don't sell your pain, don't sell your excitement. Because anybody that can understand you very quick knows which button to press
Wow.
to get you. So that's why third parties, that includes mama, papa, your friends, your pastor, don't jump in because of the pressure of the third people, the third party people. They have their interests. Until you can be convicted as a person that this is good for me, don't make a move.
Powerful. And also, we are not saying that their interest might be purely wrong.
Yes.
There are those marriages that a friend suggested.
Yes.
That the way I'm seeing you, I think my other friend would make a good wife for you.
Yes.
And there are those marriages that have worked. But I think what we are emphasizing is be led by the sixth
The key word is you are not comfortable.
Yes.
You feel you are not yet ready.
You are not yet ready.
But they are pushing you. And what you have also said that is very powerful
Yeah.
is that there have been cases where suggestions have also worked. Where somebody suggested, we cannot be narrow-minded. We are dealing with a generation today that work on dating sites.
Yes.
We are dealing with a generation today that does not mind to pay for a husband or a wife. So, and we can also not say totally that those who paid for husband and wife, it never worked for all of them. We have to be very balanced.
Yes.
There are also cases where suggestions have worked. A man of God has looked at a lady and said, I think this lady can make a wife.
Yeah.
And by God's grace, it worked. We are not saying it's totally wrong, but the main point here is when you are not yet comfortable.
Comfortable. When your spirit man doesn't witness.
The spirit of a man.
Yes. When he doesn't witness that this is the right person, please don't go just because mommy said and daddy said.
Wonderful.
And that brings us to another also question, another insight we have seen. People marry each other on that they are academically compatible. They feel this one is a doctor, I'm a doctor, I think we can make
You're a nurse.
a nurse or a nurse and the other person. So they feel that they can make
Or one is a driver, one is a conductor. And they have been on this bus, they make a lot of money. The owner of the bus likes them. They make a good team.
Oh,
One
God.
is a bazaar, one is the secretary or
He's a
something like that.
secretary, yes.
Wow.
So they feel they can make good partners. But when they get into marriage,
Or they all work in a law firm.
yes, a law firm, they're all lawyers. So they get into the house and they realize, oh, it is not law at home. It is marriage. There is more than just education. Here we have to be practical.
I think I once called that education instigated relationship. Now listen to me very well. There's a difference between academics and marriage. There are people who are academically literate, but maritally dwarfs.
Eh.
You can be medically sound and be matrimonially a dwarf. You can be linguistically correct and still be maritally wrong. Presidents cry in marriage
Yes.
because it takes more than ruling a nation to even the Bible, if many man wants to be a bishop, which means your bishopric collar can be bigger than your marital tolerance. Your anointing is heavy, but your marriage is dying. Marriage is a ministry you cannot predicate based on people's academic performance. So when we talk about issues of being compatible, you can't even marry someone because you play basketball together and the person scores, or the father is a good scorer and you happen to play the same number the father plays, and the father is telling you, if you marry my daughter, this kind of goals will be good to build a family. Marriage does not go like that. Marriage does not even work on the grounds of your father is a pastor. My father is a pastor. You are the youth leader in your church. I'm the youth leader in our church. I think we can make a wonderful couple. It can never work in the sense that you are a pastor. You operate in the prophetic gift. I operate in the prophetic gift. By the time we come together, we'll have a marriage that is prophetically covered. Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
We have seen this was a pastor with her church. This was a pastor with his church. They thought based on ministerial ideologies, they can make a couple. Came together and finished both of the churches. Because marriage is not a church. Marriage is not politics. Marriage is not football. Marriage is not that you love Chelsea and I love Chelsea, so by the time we get married, our house will be full of peace. People shift allegiance to clubs. You can marry a Chelsea as a Chelsea fan, and 2 years into marriage, you become an Arsenal fan. So how do you handle that?
And football is seasonal.
And football is seasonal.
Yes.
You need to understand that there's more that should bring the two of you together. A lawyer can marry a driver because of the way they are compatible maritally, the way they flow in terms of love, their feelings for one another, their ideologies that are compatible, the way they complement. Complementing one another means that you can allow me be your strength in your weakness. And I can allow your weakness become an opportunity for me to show you love. That's what we call compatibility. And so a lot of education instigated marriages are where people say, you know, someone with a PhD like you now, at least if the girl is a little bit low, she should at least have masters. You are headed for trouble. I've seen PhD holders who married from 3 girls and they are very happy because they are maritally compatible. They may not be academically compatible, but they are maritally compatible. You understand what I'm saying? So don't let your level of education deceive you that because you are at that level of education, you must look for a first-class honors degree holder. A first-class honors degree in school or at the university does not equal a first-class honors degree in marriage.
Marriage, that's true.
So that both of you are sent to maybe South Africa to go and represent your company, and you guys went there, performed so well, made the company proud. You went a man and a woman. So by the time you come back, the company is doing a party, meketishwa kwa viti mbili hapo mbele, maballoons na nini. So people are just saying, you guys make a wonderful team. Na harusi ni lini, keki ni lini. They are trying to have you marry on the grounds of work. You'll cry the rest of your life. You'll realize that marriage is not from here to South Africa. Marriage is not the balloons. Marriage is not the people telling you are compatible. You must feel comfortable within you. That this girl is educated just as I am, but I feel we can make it together. She's a lawyer like I'm a lawyer. We can make it together. Again, let me flip it on the other side and also say, it is also tricky to have certain people in certain professions marry easily. I don't know if you have seen that. So the whole idea comes down to, how are we wired for each other? Are we together? Are we going the same direction? Because we akianza kuongea kizungu huku na wewe anaongea kizungu huku, ndio utajua marriage si kizungu. You must be compatible. And compatibility sometimes comes on the grounds of, it goes beyond tribes. You can find a Luo man that has blended so well with a Kikuyu lady, and they are very happy. While the friends are suggesting, as a Luo man, look for a Luo lady. And sometimes your greatest devil in life will be this lady speaking your language. So let's not look at compatibility based on profession, academics, education. Education is important. But it cannot be the grounds upon which you pick someone. They are educated witches. They are educated wizards. There are people who are educated and they are wicked. They are mannerlessly educated people. So you must look beyond that. Education may not be the issue, but are we compatible? Can we work it out? And you see, if you can work it out, you will know before you go far. Tutajua kwamba hapa tuko na harusi.
You can work it out at any level. So let's go beyond profession, let's go beyond the tribe, and let the Spirit of God lead you. Let God lead you when it comes to choosing a spouse. Somebody said that they will be comfortable as a PhD holder having the same woman in the house that they can speak English at the same level. That he doesn't want to be speaking fluent English and the other one is speaking broken English. And the man saying that later came and said, I have dated so many women. I haven't found what I am looking for. So he was asking for advice. That suppose maybe the ladies he's been dating are the ones who have the so-called problem and not him. He was exempting himself. So it is something that is very powerful. We should look beyond.
You have to see beyond. It's just like if you have been to so many churches and every church has a fault.
Yes.
The church may not be the problem.
It is you.
It may be what you are bringing to those churches. Because not every church can be having a problem.
Yeah.
Not every spiritual father can be having a problem. You must also, as I grow up as a pastor, I'm coming to realize that everyone that has a problem with me, it is not them that entirely have the problem. They must have met my trouble somewhere. So I must also check my trouble. Don't victimize people. There must be what you are contributing. If you met a false prophet, you must have been a false believer as well.
Yes. What were you looking for?
What were you looking for by the time you landed on a false prophet?
Yes.
What were you looking for there? Pastor Mia just went to look for prayer, see your life. So I think that's a very powerful thing you're saying.
Yes.
Yep.
We need to look out. And there is also another issue of when people are in a relationship, many tend to talk about money, investments. They forget themselves in a relationship. You've just met a lady and the first thing you're thinking of is how can I acquire properties? How can I get land? Maybe this is because you have, maybe you are in business, you are employed in the same firm. So you've just met the person, and the first thing, it's not even about the two of you. They are not talking about themselves. They're talking about how they want to buy the whole of Rongai.
Money has dominated,
Of course, their conversations.
Of course, that is very common in our time now, because in our time now, the economy is not very good. So we are using everything we can use to get out of poverty. And it is very sad when a relationship becomes one of your avenues out of poverty. It may never get you out of poverty. It may land you in the biggest problem of your life.
We've seen many conned.
People get conned because you are trying to use everything you have to get out of trouble. And let me tell you this. If you have dated somebody for 6 years, 6 years are a lot. You have dated someone for 3 months, and these 3 months, you have never shared anything about the two of you. It's always the latest deal in Somalia. Nikipata tu ngiri 100, I think I'll be taking a flight. Our future is at stake. I'm wondering what our kids will be eating. You know, girl, if I just get this money.
Yeah.
Every time we are with this guy, he's tying one deal or the other. Pengine is into ministry. Nikipata tu speaker sahi. The kind of preaching I'll do, the offering I'll get, I'll take care of your life. He always has something that has to be done for him to take care of your life.
Yes.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
You are with a lady, you have only dated 2 or 3 months, and she's a lot into, anytime you meet, there is a financial problem. My mother just called me, umbwa aliuma mama yangu, na hata kabla itibiwe vizuri, sude pia kaingia hapo ndani. So my mother is in trouble. Then you say, okay, how much are we talking about? You have noted that anytime you meet, how much dominates the relationship.
Yes. He wants to invest.
The other time you gave 17,000. At this time you meet, now it is not the mother. A cockroach has entered the sister's ears in the village. Very funny things happening to the family. Ukauliza sasa ni kama atafanyiwa upasuaji, hata alishachukuliwa na ambulance imeenda village kuchukua mtu mwenye cockroach imeingia kwa masikio. You are following. Then you sort that, wanahitaji 20, you are 5, ukamuliza, if I get 5, is it okay? Asema, it's okay, it's okay. So you're talking to her and you realize she's very far. Ukasema, honey, what if I add 10? I think with 10 it's okay, we are talking. At least that one can help them. Then all of a sudden she becomes very nice. So what were you saying? You are watching. You are with a man that any time you meet, you notice is pushing into, don't you have a friend that can lend him? These you are friends. Huwezi pata hata 5 or 6 hivi wanaweza simama na mimi kwa issue. You know, girl, if this thing goes through, this is something big. Isi kitu mchezo. I will take you for a holiday using a rocket. If this one goes through, and the conversation is always like that. You know, you rarely share anything, the two of you. You don't talk about your parents. You don't talk about even your education. There's nothing about it. It's money, money, money from the beginning to the end. Every time you meet. Is materialism. Na hizi viatu unavaa zinaweza kuwa kama pesa ngapi hivi. And hiyo koloni umepiga. Okay, this is life now. You see, this is life now. Be very careful. Anything that is dominated by money will break on the grounds of money.
Wow.
Now, kishazoea, because sometimes maybe you are desperate. I'm sorry to use that word. You are desperate, you don't want a young man to come into your life and leave you again. So, utaanza kuingia kwa manipulation. Akisema kuna deal Somalia, na kuna hii ndege inaendanga backdoor. Haiendi through the airport. So, the air cost is double. Na pia ukijaribu kuuliza na hii ndege inapatikana wapi, anasema, you know, some things that you know, I'm a very high profile person. Kuna vitu siongeangi tu, naweza kuwa niko taped mahali, somebody has tapped my conversation. You just, if I can get it, it's okay. And once he gets the money, there's little about you.
Yeah.
Until next time, again, there's a money problem. There's a money need. It can either be a man or a woman. Yeah. That is an investment, not a marriage. And if you marry an investment, investments change rooms that they rent. We are only happy investments when profits are coming. So you must, by God's grace, stop a little bit along the way and ask the question, honey, I've noted anytime we meet ni pesa mpaka mwisho. Mara mafuta yako ya nywele imeisha, mara unadaiwa na ule mama alikusonga nywele, sijui mara unadaiwa na caretaker sijui nini, mara sijui unadaiwa na mtu wa maji alileta mkokoteni na punda ikavunjika mguu hapo kwa gate, sasa punda inafaa ipelekwe clinic. Yani just very funny things. And those are the things we discuss. Honey, are you all right? When will we talk about us? Then the person answers you, what is us without money? What do you mean? Even this Bible you carry says, money answereth all things. Once we have money, love will just follow. You're toying with your life. If you are dating someone, you cannot be happy without money. Money will not bring the joy. Happiness in a relationship cannot be bought.
Cannot be bought.
Don't marry anybody you cannot be happy outside something else.
Get these books at only 1,000 shillings. Call, SMS or WhatsApp 0726 315 906.